What's going on, y'all? We're gonna get started in a second. About to send this link out, then I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, bam. All right, so what's going on, y'all? A little late start. I was trying to take care of something, figure some things out. I've been having technical difficulties lately. I'm gonna use this weekend to try to figure those things out. I think I might need a new mic, or I just can't record when I'm not streaming on YouTube when I have my other monitor connected, because for some reason when I'm trying to record videos, it will sound clear on YouTube, but when I'm trying to record other videos, the mic will just sound very weird. So I think that's what's the issue is. I think I can't really record with the software I use when my other monitor is connected, because it just bugs out every time. I've been noticing that. But anyways, we're gonna get straight to it. We got a few minutes before London starts, so a lot of moves already kind of started or began during Asian session. Like we could have had a nice sell set up here, but this started in Asian session, like when market reopened. I don't be on the charts all day. I only trade London, New York. So there's a few opportunities. This one too, I was looking at this yesterday, but it didn't really do much. It like hit the first wall, then came back up here, and I decided to leave it alone. But then again, like the other pairs, when market reopened, that's when the move decided to happen. So we can possibly jump into, let's go ahead and move this out the way, because we did not enter that. So depending on how it reacts to this level, we could possibly try to go for a sell setup here off this level possibly. So we're going to see what the next couple candlesticks look like, because we possibly could look for a sell setup depending on how price reacts to this level right here. It's going to be a tight stop loss since we are in the middle of the zone. We could possibly see a setup right here. This will still be a nice risk to reward, still a nice 1 to 4 risk to reward. I think it's just dumping, but we're gonna wait to see what the next candlesticks look like. Well, we're in the 5-minute too. Let me switch that. My bad. We need to be on the 15. So yeah, this would be a nice 1 to 3 risk to reward. So we're gonna see how price reacts to breaking through this level, because it hasn't been this low in a long time. So that's one thing we have to take account for. You see it dumped, but you also see it retracing back. So we're going to let this marinate. Then we're going to see what the next 15 looks like and jump in on that if price decides to keep dumping. Yesterday's live stream, we caught a nice move. During the news, it did a nice fake out. And then literally like right before market close, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, all the USD pairs pumped all the way back up. I'm talking about the indices did the same thing as gold and all of that. So that's fine though, because now we know that we can potentially see the uptrend continuing. Because did one break past this level, as we can see here. It's also in the middle of the zone, so everything's chilling right now. So we're going to see if it can break above that level and continue to go up. We do have an imbalance that it could try to retrace and fill up before trying to pump back up. So we do have to keep that in mind. And we have a nice imbalance right here too. We have 2 imbalances on the daily as well. Yeah, there's a huge, like I'm talking about, this thing pumped up, dropped down, and then as soon as it hit this level, that thing exploded up insane amount. So we could see some retracements, but it is still looking bullish. We are going to look for some buy setups on the indices going into New York session. And then gold, we could look for a sell setup here. So we're going to smaller time frame, take a closer look. We're going to take a look at this. Let's see. So we're going to see how it reacts to this level because it is on the daily still overall bullish. So I still want to primarily look for a buy setup. But we might just keep an eye on this just because. But I do still want to primarily look for a buy setup. So I'll let it retrace and all that. Let me see something. Yeah, so I'm just going to let it do its thing for now. But I want to see it break back above 1770, like 1779, and then possibly look for another buy setup. So that's what I'm mainly going to look for. I'm going to be looking for buys for all the USD pairs. We went 2-1 yesterday. Euro CAD didn't go our way, but the other trades did go our way. USD CHF, that thing dropped all the way down. And it's pushing up right now. It's not really at a good entry, so we could look at some correlating pairs because it is trying to push up, and so is GBPJPY, which is a good sign. It did, break underneath, came back up, retested the daily, and trying to push up. So we could possibly look for a buy setup here. We caught a buy on this the other day. It didn't finish the move though. It kind of hit almost the middle of the zone. So I wonder if today it can complete that move. So that's what we want to see if price can do that today. So from where it's currently at, it's going to be a similar stop loss. Let's see here, 35. Yeah, but it's the first candlestick going into London, so I don't want to jump in anything too soon. But the CHF pairs are pumping up. I want to look for New Zealand CAD setup too. It is on a good level. I just want to wait and see if it can break back above that. It might not do that till closer to New York, but a lot of the setups kind of already started. So we're kind of waiting for them to come to the next levels, or just going to be waiting for them to break the next level. Like same thing with GBPJPY. That thing dumped like all the other JPY pairs. I was looking at another JPY pair. What was it? New Zealand JPY. Yeah, so we're going to keep an eye on this. This is the only one that's ideally at a good entry level. So we're going to see if we can break back underneath here and possibly look for sell setup there. Or, if price is going to reverse on us, like and go up again like yesterday the JPY pairs did. Let's just keep an eye on this. Okay, so that thing is deciding to still drop. But before we jump in on this, because it hasn't been this low in a minute, let's take some looks at some things real quick. So at this wall right here, as we're tracing off that wall right there, it's definitely got a lot of levels of traffic to break. Let me see, but it did do a nice drop right there. So I might be inclined to enter this. Yeah, it's got a nice wall above it too. So it could very much so try to drop today. Let me see what the other New Zealand pairs are up to. Yeah, like, and again, a little bit different from earlier. London, now second half of the week since Thursday now. A lot of moves started to do their thing earlier. But we do still see a couple potential setups. Yeah, so I want to see this get retested. So I want to see what's going to retest it off this candlestick. It looks like it's trying to. So I want to enter off a retest if it will do that for us. Gold's pumping back up. Let's see what the indices are up to. Let's go in a smaller time frame. Well, not 5. Let's do the 15. So I can see after that huge pump, after the little fake out, it's just been chilling here, like, plotting. So I still want to look for a buy setup, but it could very much so retrace beforehand because we do have some news going down. So it could try to do another fake out. Well, not right now. I think we got news later today, if I'm not mistaken. Some red folder news. What's today? Thursday. Yeah, so 8:30 we got the core PC price index, and then at 10 a.m. we got ISM manufacturing PMI. So we're going to see if and how that's going to affect the markets. And then tomorrow, we have some red folder news to end the week. We got the employment change for Canada, and then we got the NFC for USD and the unemployment rate and our average hourly earnings. So usually this stuff right here will cause some spikes in the market, but I want to see the uptrend continue. obviously. And it most likely will, but we'll see. But we got some retracements happening, which is good for us because we need price to come to some good setups here. CHFJPY also missed that dump, but we want to see if we can get an entry off of this level right here. So we're just going to be patiently waiting. The London session did just start. So that's the main pairs I'm going to be looking. I'm going to go look at some other pairs in a second. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Yes, this is trying to push up. Yeah, so we're going to see what the next new 5-minute just started. I would like to wait for the next 15 if possible. Yeah, so we see a retest right now. So this is what I want. So if it can stay underneath this wall and try to push back down, then we're going to enter off of it. But it's doing what I want to see it do. And then gold's pushing back up as well. Yeah, so we're just going to let price do its thing for now. We're just going to let price do its thing. The retracements are working in our favor. Let's see what else going down. Yeah, so far it's respecting that level. So this would be an entry point. But I just want to make sure that it wants to continue to try to push down. Let me go, because it did do a nice dump. Could try to retrace to that, maybe. But it's got some strong walls would have to break to even do that. So we're going to see if we can hit the zone. Because it's looking good so far. But I want to see what the next 15 looks like. So while those trades are doing their thing, we're just going to, give me 1 second. And go down the list. Let's see something real quick. Yeah, so it's just chilling at this lower price. It's trying to push up though. But I'm probably not going to mess with that until closer to New York. Honestly. I might jump in gold later though if it can break that level. But we're just going to go down the list. Euro New Zealand is looking nice though. EuroCAD. EuroCAD didn't go our way. EuroCAD is dropping. EuroCHF. It's kind of too late to enter that. Yeah, it's too late to enter that. GBPUSD, that's trying to push back up. Yeah, so I'm going to see if we can catch something. But as you can see, a lot of moves already began beforehand, which happens sometimes. Just keep that right there. Yeah, so it's kind of chilling in this box. We've kind of seen this happen before. We've seen it happen this day and the other day before it dropped back down. So we're going to see if it can continue to push up and break that level. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. But looking at the bigger time frames, it is a high chance it could do so. Because again, we have this rejection wick and then the next candlestick pushing it up. And it's above this level here. It's kind of been staying and respecting this box. But as you can see, there is a lot of walls of traffic that is struggling to break. So we're going to see if it can do so. On the daily time frame. Then look at the daily time frame from yesterday. Huge rejection with pushing price all the way back up to our entry level. And we can see price retested the daily. And it's come back up. It's kind of struggling to break that level. But we want to see if it can do it as volume picks back up. And see if we can hit the daily zone today. So I'm going to see if we can do that. Because there's a strong wall here. We can see this here as well. If I bolden this up, you can see how this is getting treated support level, resistance level. And we can see how price the past few days has struggled to close above that level. It's hit that level multiple times, but struggled to close above that level. And the last time it closed above that level, did a harsh rejection down. So we're going to see if price can do it, but it's definitely trying, as we can see. But for now, we're just going to let price do its thing. Yes, that's pushing back up. So let's look at some other pairs while we're waiting. And it's too far for entry. So I only see a few things right now. The Canadian pairs are retracing, but 80 CAD still overall looking bullish. So we're going to see how it reacts to this daily level that it's retesting. I'm going to see if we can stay above that level, and if we can possibly look for a buy setup. Kind of want to shorten this space because it's kind of a big area. Just put it right there. See on USD doing the same thing. New Zealand JPY dropping back down. Trying to. Yeah, so we're just going to patiently wait. Got a nice wall right here. See how price reacts to that wall. Yeah, so we're going to see how price reacts to these two walls right here. And drop that right there. Yeah, so it's respecting the level as a resistance so far. So we're going to see the new 5 minutes just start. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. And if it tries to drop, then I'm going to enter this and then just let it do its thing. I think that's a good stop loss. But GBP New Zealand hasn't been this low in a very long time, like over a month. All months have been stuck in this level, and it finally broke that level, which is nice, but you know, I ain't jumping that, so nothing I can really do about that. But we see 80 CAD trying to push back up. So I'm going to see how I respect if it's the next candlestick is going to try to push it back up, and then we're going to go from there. See if we can look for a possible buy setup. Because overall, on the daily time frame, it is bullish. Is there any Canadian news? No, this is not. Yeah, so we're going to see if price can continue to push up. But all the Canadian pairs are dropping, but this is a strong wall here, as you can see. For now, got a couple minutes until the next 15. We're going to see what that looks like. Yeah, price just chilling. I would not be surprised if price retraces a little bit before the pump. Would not be surprised. So that's pushing back up, which is interesting. That's a huge rejection off the daily level. We got a strong support resistance level here, so it makes sense. Whoops, not the weekly. I'm gonna go on the. Didn't mean to hit the weekly. It can go either way, so that's why we're just waiting to see which way it wants to go. Because they do a huge drop, it could try to push back up like it is right now. If it tries to break through that level, we might look for a buy setup. So we're just going to go see. Just going to patiently wait. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so we're going to see. So we got a few potential setups. But a lot of them we're probably going to have to wait till closer to New York to mess with and enter. So I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to this New York session. See if we can jump into some things. Yeah, but the New Zealand pairs are trying to drop back down. GPAD. Good thing I clicked on this one. I kind of missed this. Let me see something. You might be able to jump in on this too. It's kind of rejecting up, but if we can stand underneath that daily level, we can probably catch the wave down maybe. We're going to see. I'm going to see how it reacts off this retest. Because it's been on this level for the past 4, 8, 12 hours. Each time it's closed underneath it. Well, this one still got about 2 hours left on it, but the other ones is closed underneath it. So we're going to see if it can continue to do so. New 15 did just start though. So I want to see price come back underneath this wall right here. If it can do so, we'll possibly look for a sell. Then I don't want price to break this wall right here. Yeah, so we're just going to keep an eye on that. But let's go back to EN, see what that's up to. So we kind of had an indecision wick, but it's still closed underneath. And you see it's kind of still respecting that as resistance, this huge wall here. So yes, we might be able to enter the sell. We're a little bit late to the party. GC is kind of repeating what happened Monday. It's really stuck in this range right here, this level of traffic. But the wick did push up and close above it. So we could potentially see price try to continue to push up. USD-CHF's at a good entry for buy, but we're not going to enter that yet. We want to see it try to push back up. It did just do a huge rejection down. And we caught a nice sell on it, so the bearish momentum could keep going, as we can see here. Because if we look at the bigger time frames, it did do a huge drop, retest, drop. So this is a strong support resistance. I always see it being treated as resistance here and being treated as support here. And see it being treated as support here, support here. So we're going to see if it's going to repeat itself like it's been doing the past couple of weeks, or if it's going to break that level. But so far it's rejecting back up off that level. So we could potentially see it, but this was an aggressive drop down. But we're going to see. So far it is trying to push up though. So we might be able to jump into a buy, but we're just going to wait a little bit and let it do its thing. Because we do have this nice wall right here. So I'm going to see how it reacts to this wall right here. But it is trying to push back up. So we're going to see how it reacts to that wall right there. GBPJPY trying to push up as well. The Euro CHF did like a huge drop down. It's trying to push back up as well too though. Let's see it. NJ though. So NJ broke back above that level, was retesting it, which is interesting. Again, this is a huge wall here, strong support resistance level, so it makes sense for it to do that. But I want to see if it's going to try to break these levels and push back up. Let me go back on the bigger time frames. Because it could really go either way, because this one's not really a trend going on. It's kind of just been bouncing. But if we can respect that level, we could see it try to push back up. Let me look at the 4 hour. It's rejecting that level nice. Yeah, so I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to wait for the next 5 minutes. But it is looking like, I want to see how it reacts to this wall right here. I want to see how it reacts to that wall right there. It's pushing up. This is pushing up as well. So I might look for some buy setups on these. So I like how that's doing. GC is not doing the exact same compared to USD-CHF. So we're going to see how it reacts to this wall right here. So we have this nice rejection wick off the daily here. Hit this wall here, rejected. It's re-attempted to break this wall. So we might jump in on that. We're going to see though. CHF-JPY is red. We're going to see if we can break back underneath this level. Let's see what the other JPY pairs are doing. That's pushing up as well. But could just be a retracement. Yeah. Okay, so I like how that's looking. So stop loss for this is going to be 65, or we can say 65.40. So let's do some math real quick. 65.40 minus, where's currently 64.68. It's about 72 pip stop loss. Yeah, kind of like how this is looking right here. Yeah, so I'm about to write some stuff up because I kind of like how that's looking. GPUSD is rejecting that level. Interesting. Interesting. The USD and CAD pairs are trying to drop right now. JPY pairs are pumping. GBAD is pushing back up. Yes, the thing's pumping. And other JPY pairs are pumping as well. Let me see if this is doing the same thing. Yes, we might jump into some things right now. So let me type some stuff up and post a disclaimer. But we might be jumping into some things. Stop loss. We're going to match that same stop loss. So 94.40, 93.85. Yeah, so things are pumping right now. So I might go for a buy. It's doing kind of what it did yesterday. I was looking like it was trying to drop. I mean, it did do a huge drop, and now it's trying to reverse back up, which makes sense though. Yeah, so let me type these up and then post a disclaimer, and then we might jump into some things. Gold looking like it's trying to drop. It's a huge level of traffic right there. Let me see if I'm dropping something. Yeah, it's been a good time for indices. Yeah. This week, I mean, this month, yeah, it's just been very choppy. Like, honestly, but I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. But like I said, hopefully next quarter things will start to smoothing out. We have seen some moves finally move around with the indices. We did catch a nice move like a week or two ago with GBPJPY, but yeah, like the USD pair wise, the indices have just not been moving well. And since they're not moving well, it's very risky to try to jump in them, especially when they're like kind of like stagnant. So that's why I just been deciding to just stay out of them because it just seems like the smarter move to do. Yeah, so we're about to do some things right here. All right, so I'm about to type some stuff up because we might jump into some things soon. So I do like how a couple of these things are looking right now. Give me 1 second. Yeah, this thing's dropping. I kind of like how this is looking. Yeah, so I'm gonna enter Euro New Zealand. Yeah, so I'm gonna enter this. So stop loss for this, I got it 63. We can say 63.40. I'm gonna type the TPs and stuff in the chat. I like how this is looking too. USD That thing's at that wall. I want to see how it reacts to that wall. So I'm gonna wait for the next 5 minutes on that. But it looks like the USD pairs and the Canadian pairs are trying to drop. So I'm gonna wait for the next 15 before I enter gold, because again, I want to see how it reacts to this level. But if it can stay underneath that level, there is some levels of traffic here that it might struggle to break. So before we get excited or anything, I'm not touching the indices right now. The indices aren't moving. I'm not touching them right now. I'm waiting for some volume to pick up. Yes, I like how these are looking right here. Yes, I'm going to type some stuff. I just posted the disclaimer. Yeah, this thing's moving. So like I said, I did enter this. So I'm about to put the TPs and stuff in the free Telegram right now. Again, it hasn't been this low in a while, so we could see some slight retracements. But I think it can hit the daily zone. I do believe that. 64. All right, so I'm going to post the TPs. I just want to look at these real quick. Yeah, so I rejected. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. Because it came right back underneath this wall right here, which is not a surprise. USD looking like it's still trying to pump though. Let me see what GC. GC is trying to pump as well. All right. Yeah, so we're about to jump into some trades here. About to see a repeat of GBPJPY, it looks like. TPs are going to be similar to the TPs from what you call it. From the other day. So give me a sec. I'm just about to type these up. So I'm not going to post it to the next candlestick, but it is looking like they're trying to make a move right now. So I'm going to type the TPs in the chat. So I really want to see if it can hit the daily zone today because it's really been struggling, but it looks like it could potentially do so. Of course, we won't know until going into New York session though. But I'm just typing this stuff up right now. So New Zealand JPY just did a nice drop rejection. CHF JPY is dropping again. So this is why you just got to patiently wait before you want to enter stuff, because it's very important where the candlestick closes. Now, I did enter this a little bit early. I feel very, very confident that it could drop. I do feel confident that it can drop. So I'm going to type the TPs in a second. I just want to look and see what these other pairs are up to. Let's see here. The NCs did just do a drop here. So it could be coming to fill up that imbalance. So we could possibly look for a scalp setup. Let's just zoom out and see if we can see something. No, because it hasn't been this high in a minute. So just looking right here, it could potentially come down to 34, like 3,500, 3,490. I mean, 35,000, 34,090. I could potentially see that. But again, I'm just going to wait to see what the next candlestick looks like before we jump in on that. But I can potentially see it do that, looking at a scalp setup. But overall, daily time frame, it is still bullish. It is still bullish. But there is some imbalances it could try to hunt and fill, like on the 4-hour. This is a huge imbalance. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to fill this up before the news. So it could potentially, like I said, come to this body of price. So I could see it potentially come down to there. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. But I'm about to type these TPs for Euro New Zealand. You want to see what New Zealand JPY is talking about. USD CHF and GBP CHF. Yeah, I'm about to post this stuff when this next candlestick pops up. So first, let me do this. Cut. So let me type the TPs for Euro New Zealand real quick. for this new candlestick. Into the 70. Yeah, so this is where price rejected last time it hit. All right, so new 15 just started. So it's got a huge wall right here. Both these are wicks, but I do believe it can try to drop down. So we're going to see if it can do that. So now let's look at these pairs real quick. Starting off green. You see CHF retesting that. Yeah, so I like how GBP CHF is looking, so I might jump in on that. All right, so the TPs, I just posted these TPs in the free Telegram. So we're going to let these do its thing, but they are pushing up as we speak. So we're going to be able to catch some pips here. We're going to see if we can break that level. USD CHF, it's retesting this level here. It's right underneath this wall. CHF JPY just dropped back underneath that level. Interesting. Let's see what the other JPY pairs are up to. So that's pushing up still. That's trying to reject down. Yeah, so that just rejected back above that level I had marked off. So we're going to see, but there is some imbalances that could try to fill up. We could catch potentially a few thousand pips if it does decide to continue to try to drop down. But we see it's retesting this level, so we're going to see how it reacts off this retest. And then we'll go from there. This is a high risk trade because, again, it is very bullish. And it is before New York, so it could be a potential, they try to do a fake out or some shit. Could potentially see that. But I definitely could see it coming down to this wall here, minimum. But we're going to see. We're going to see how that how it reacts to that level there before we get excited. Then we see gold pushing up as well. So again, it's still highly bullish, but there are some imbalances from the huge burst after the fake out the news did yesterday. So it could try to hunt those down before the news comes out later on today and tomorrow. We could possibly see that, but we will see. But GC, y'all should be blue on that. Then things pumping up. So y'all should be blue on GC. Now again, just looking to the left, we see this level of traffic. We could see retracement because again, that's how the TPs work. So this is your first time on the stream. Make sure to read those disclaimers in the first link in the description to free Telegram. But y'all should be blue on that trade. We did just hit some TPs. We're about to hit the next TP. We just hit TP1. So we're about to hit the next TP. So we're going to go ahead and mark this off. What's the next TP? The next TP is 1,435. We just hit TP1. We're about to hit TP2 right now. So we entered a little bit earlier this week, like a little bit lower. But again, I'd rather be safe than sorry, especially when I'm putting my money in the markets. So I have no issue with that. USD CHF is kind of like stuck right now. It could try to break that level though. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if it tries to break that level. CHF JPY is trying to drop. So let me see what NJ is up to. NJ is pushing up. Now this isn't the first time they've kind of done different things. This isn't the first time it's done different things. So we're going to see. We're going to see. Because it is very bearish overall. So it could continue the bearish momentum. Wouldn't be surprised. Let me see something. I like how New Zealand JPY is looking though. It's trying to pump up. They do the retest. Is at that wall again. Usually they like to move together. Like I say, it doesn't do it 100% of the time. That's why it's important to, have the levels marked off. But looking at the levels, we can obviously New Zealand is green and then CHF is red. They're completely doing two different things. But that's trying to push up. But looking at the other JPY pairs, all the other JPY pairs are pumping up as well. So yeah, I'm inclined to go for a buy on this. So that's what we're going to do. And we're just going to see what it does. We're just going to see what it does. Yeah, so we're just going to let these things ride out. USD we might enter that too. But it looks like we hit TP2 on this. Looks like we hit TP2. So we're making some money. So the next TP is going to be 1440. I really want to see it knock out the previous highs to the left. And of course, in a perfect world, it'll hit that daily zone. But that most likely won't happen until closer to New York. There's going to be some retracements beforehand. So let's go back to the indices real quick. So that's rejecting that level so far. But I'm still going to hold off on taking that because, again, it is still mainly bullish overall in the bigger time frames. Let's see what Euro New Zealand's up to. Yeah, so Euro New Zealand's kind of stuck. But when it breaks that level of traffic, we could potentially see a nice dump. But it is kind of chilling right here for now. But we're just going to let that do its thing for now. So we're going to look at some more correlating pairs. Euro CHS pushing up as well. I'm not going to enter this yet, though, because it's still underneath the daily level. So we're just going to let that do its thing. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to let these do their thing. But like always, when these TPs get hit, as you can see, these are like certain levels of price where price can hit, but doesn't mean it's going to necessarily break it, especially not the first touch, which is why we see price rejecting. So that's why I always post that disclaimer. Even though most of y'all are watching the stream right now already know how things go, I still want to just do my part because you never know. There could be some new people watching. Never know. I never just want to assume either. And then, of course, if you don't see what I see in the markets, of course, you don't have to enter. But I do like what I'm seeing right here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the indices on gold alone. I'm just gonna keep watching those for now. You're in New Zealand. It's building a nice wall right here. We got a nice wall getting formed right here. So this is gonna be the next thing we're gonna need to see it break and close underneath. It's definitely trying. but we're just going to wait and see if it can do so. Now let's look at GBPJPY. GBPJPY did just break above this level here. So we're going to, let's see here. We caught a nice sell on this the other day, but again, strong support resistance level here. We see price came down, rejected, it's pushing back up. So we're going to wait for the next 15, which is about to pop up in about 6 or 5 minutes. And if it can stay above this level and show that wants to continue to pump up, we might look for a buy setup here to the middle of the zone at least minimum. So let me clear off all these lines because we don't need these no more. This was from when we're doing that sell setup. So minimum, I want to see it come to there, which is definitely possible. You really have to see how it reacts to this level first, though. GBPJPY still attempting to try to pump up. So you want to see what the next candlestick looks like. New 5-minute did just start. Things turning red. All right, so let me go ahead. I forgot. Let me type these TPs in for this. Yeah, but I'm gonna try to get into some indices setups today or tomorrow because we haven't really traded indices like we usually do. But again, you know, can't control the markets. We just have to wait for the setups. And you know, if price is choppy, I'm just gonna stay out of it because when price is choppy, you don't know what way it's gonna break out 9 times out of 10. Like you could kind of assume, but like it could still break out either way. So I want to wait. I don't like to trade during choppiness, which is also why I wait for like the confirmations before I enter any trade and all that good stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna let that do its thing. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, so we got a new 15 about to pop up. We're gonna see what it do. We're gonna see what it do. But we're about a couple pips off from hitting TP1 on this. Now this one I just put in the, this is the members only trade, but of course you're watching the stream. You could hop in on this too. But y'all should be blue on this. We're a couple pips off from hitting TP1 on this. GBPJPY still trying to pump. A few pips off from hitting the next TP for this as well. USD-CHF's doing a retest. So we're going to see what the next candlestick looks like on this. And if it continues to try to pump up, it is at a good entry for a possible buy setup. And then we're going to go from there. Let's go back to New Zealand JPY. I think we hit it. Let me double check. I think we hit it though. I think we hit it. No, we missed it by 1 pip. I want to see it hit it before the 15 comes up. It looks like it's going to try to do that for us. Literally 1 pip off. And we just hit it. And we just hit it. Okay, but so every trade's hit at least 1 TP, except Euro New Zealand so far. So next TP for this. And again, you see how it tapped and is rejecting it. Okay, this is how the strategy works. It's gonna, with this strategy, you're gonna know where price is going to go. All right, you're gonna know the key level of price where price can potentially hit. Now, will it break through that level? That's a different question, but it will touch those levels at least. Now, will it touch every TP? Of course, that's not guaranteed. But I'm talking about when a TP gets hit, it's gonna at least touch it, but it will reject or react off of it, which is normal. Okay, so now we're making some money on EM. All right, now we're 3 for 3, y'all. We're 3 for 3 now. So TP2 just got hit. So make sure to hit that like button, y'all. Make sure to hit that like button. And just like I said in yesterday's stream, there's literally opportunities everywhere. You saw as soon as the stream started, I pointed out how we missed like a bunch of opportunities. But guess what? We're still making some money. Making some money. Definitely a good end to the month. I mean, it's a new, December just started today, December 1st, but last month was definitely tough. So I know for a fact that a lot of people, I mean, we were struggling too. Obviously, we ain't really trade indices and stuff like that, but at least the currency pairs, we're still positive most days. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. But I know a lot of people were struggling last month trying to trade. And I know some people just didn't trade at all last month. Like I know some people that don't even trade during this time. I don't know why. I mean, I get why, I guess, because it's kind of harder to trade. But, we're making it work. All right, so I do like how that is looking. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, so USD is just doing its own thing compared to the other JPY pairs. We've seen that happen before. I want to enter this, but because the other JPY pairs are pushing up, I just want to play it smart and just stay out of it. Even though I said that we see the other pairs kind of looking like New Zealand, well, scratch that. New Zealand JPY is doing its thing for us. So yeah, we're just not going to, and we see that's rejecting up. So, okay. So we're just going to stay out of that. We're going to leave that there for now. But for now, we're just going to stay in NJ because NJ is doing its thing for us. We hit a TP. It's trying to break this wall right here. We're going to see if it can do so. And while we're doing that, let's just see what the Canadian pairs are up to. So that's pushing back up, which is cool. Let's see what New Zealand USD is up to. That's pushing up, which is great. So we could see some possible setups on these. This is a nice wall right here. So we might jump in on these two. I'm going to give it a little bit, though. I'm going to give it a second. I do like how this is looking. I probably put the stop loss right there. And I liked how 80 CAD is looking. I'm still going to hold off on that because there's a wall right here. But I really want to see it break this wall before we even mess with it. So we're going to hold off on that. But it did break back above and it is retesting the daily level. But before I enter, I want to see it at least be at that wall right there. We do have some potential setups going in. Gold. Yeah, we're just going to hold off on that. It's very tempting. Very tempting. I think we hit TP3. Let me double check and see if we hit it for Euro New Zealand. Let me see. Yeah, we did. Yeah, so we're making some money, y'all. TP3 just got hit. Yeah, but I do want to not miss out on the NDC plays. Because that big pump, I do see price trying to fill this up. I do see price trying to do that. I would not be surprised if price tries to do that. Of course, I'm not going to immediately jump in on that until price shows me that it's trying to do that. You feel me? But JPY pairs are still pumping. So let's see. We're hitting another TP on New Zealand JPY. We're about 2-3 pips off from that. And we see CHF JPY trying to follow suit, which is why I hesitated on entering that for that very reason. GPCHF's attempting, but again, last time price again, you just have to look to the left. This is the highest price has been. Last time price hit this high, rejected. Last time price hit this TP, it rejected as well, which is why you see price struggling to do it. Doesn't mean it's impossible. It could very much do so, but it could also not until New York session. But I do want to see it do it in New York session. AD New Zealand is finally getting his act together. We might try jumping on this as well. We might try jumping on this. as well. 80 New Zealand is just kind of a little bit iffy. Like it just moves so bad. Like this is like it's like God, it's like you have to swing trade with this. And I don't really like swing trading too much. I might start getting back into it. I might start doing swing trading honestly because I'm just looking at the charts and like some of the plays. Like if we just an example because we got time to kill, right? Just an example. Before we get to that, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. So this just did a retest for us. I kind of like how this is looking here. New 5-minute did just start. We're gonna get back to that. We're not gonna jump into that just yet. Yeah. So what I'm saying about that though, I might get into it is because I just be looking at, the trades we take and all that stuff. Yeah, this is looking very tempting for a sell setup. But like we've been catching buys until this month because it's been very choppy. But like we've caught this entire uptrend. Like honestly, like we just scrolled through the free Telegram. We caught all these sales here. Like we were catching sell. Like go scroll up to September. You're gonna see we've been catching sales on NAS, SPX, US30, US30 all September, and then the uptrend we were literally catching this whole wave up. So it's like, if I would have just held an entry from here when we were originally entering the buys to like here, and then just kept on adding entries to those new buy setups, like the amount of money we could have made would have been ridiculous. Would have been ridiculous, honestly, because we've been catching the whole wave up until this month, and then we caught this whole wave down in September and October and all that stuff. So it's like if we would have just kept adding entries and swung this whole thing up, the amount of money would have been retarded that we would have made off that shit. But again, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. The price is dropping. So I am kind of tempted to go. What is potential sell scalp? It's definitely tempting me. Definitely tempting me. But we're gonna wait. We'll wait and see what the next 15 looks like. And we're gonna have to fix that later. So far the trades we are blue on. We've hit some TPs. We hit multiple TPs for GC and EN. New Zealand JPY, we only hit TP1. Oh, scratch that. We just hit TP2. Yeah, so we're 3 for 3 right now. Three for 3 right now. Three for 3 right now. So this is a strong wall right here. So we're gonna see if it can break it. We're gonna see what the next 5-minute does for us. I am just watching the indices and gold for now. I'm not gonna get too trigger happy with them yet. But US30 is just, I think, just tanked down. USDX probably did the same thing. Yeah, so this is already coming to fill up this imbalance. I can see this coming down here. So it's already, it's literally about to fill up this imbalance. So I wonder if US30 is going to follow suit and try to balance as well. Could very much so see that. Could very much so see that. Would not be surprised. Not be surprised. Okay, ED trying to push back up. See New Zealand USD. That's probably dropping down. No, that's still trying to push up too, surprisingly. Yes, we might jump in on these two because, again, looking at the bigger time frames, these things are bullish. Huge pump up, just like the indices. Is at a strong level though, and does have an imbalance here that could potentially come get filled up. But as of now, it is trying to pump, so could potentially look for a buy setup there. Going to wait to see. We got a new 5-minute about to pop up in like 2 seconds, so we're going to see what that looks like. But most likely, going to wait for the next 15 before we enter either one of these, to be honest. But these things are tempting me. But we're just going to chill for now. Then we see price rejected. So again, like I said, when the TV gets hit, you're going to reject or break through. So just keep an eye on your charts. But y'all should be blue on all trades. You should be nice and blue on GC. EN, y'all should be blue. It's going to reattempt. It's definitely struggling to break these levels here. But again, it hasn't been this low in a long time. So it makes sense. And we are at a strong wall right here when we look at the 4-hour level. Like when we see this TP, we see there's a strong wall of price. So it definitely makes sense why it's struggling to try to break that. But the fact that it is trying is a good sign. It's trying, that means it can potentially do it when volume picks up. So we're going to let that do its thing for now. AD New Zealand, we're going to wait for the next candlestick to see if we can jump in on this as well. Just put the stop loss there. Nice 1 to 2 risk to reward. Then we're going to go from there. Because as you can see, I had this from the 29th. What was that? Like the beginning of this week. So I've been waiting for this, but this thing just, AD New Zealand it just moves a little bit differently compared to other New Zealand pairs. But overall, looking at the daily time frame, it is completely bearish. We can clearly, I don't even need to pull out the arrows. You can clearly see the lower lows and lower highs. You can clearly see the lower lows and lower highs. So I want to see if we can hit that daily zone today. Definitely possible. USDCHF, it's not moving. Yeah, so USDCHF's doing, again, not doing what GC's up to. Let's see what EC is doing. Let's see what that's up to. That thing's trying to break above that level. Let's see, out of curiosity, what New Zealand CHF is up to. So I like to look at correlating pairs. Yeah, so this is pumping up as well. So this is the only black sheep of the CHF pairs. So it's either going to do its own thing, which can happen. It's very rare. It's like 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, correlating pairs move the same. Like we saw, EuroJPY, GJ, they're all moving the same. But again, not all the time. Like NAS100, SPX, US30, this is the trio. But if we look at the daily time frames, even the 4-hour, we can see some differences. Like US30 is completely bullish on the daily. NAS is bullish too, but it obviously doesn't look exactly like US30. US30 is all the way up there, right? So, but when we go in smaller time frames, that's when we see the similarities. So never just blindly just enter a bunch of correlating pairs. But that thing just tapped it. So let me see if it actually hit it. What TP is this? No, we already hit this TP. We need to move to the next one. 6550, 6450. That's what we need to hit. Yeah, so we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. Zealand JPY is pumping back up. GC's pumping. So we're going to see if we're going to take out these lows. These previous highs from earlier this week. We're going to see if we can do that. But y'all should be nice and blue on GC. Yeah, but that's just Forex. So just going back to what you were saying, Joseph, about the indices. Like that's just Forex. Like if we just literally look Like if we just literally look at the daily time frame, like you can see until this month hit, what was this, November 15th? So it was smooth the beginning of this month, but when it hit the middle of the month, when it hit this level, just was stuck. Bunch of wicks. The price just ranging. And now we see some full candlesticks and some nice full motions. So hopefully we can get back to the nice smooth trades. Because honestly, that's why a lot of people like to trade indices and stuff. Not just because you can catch a lot of pips, make a lot of money, but because they move fairly smooth for the most part. But again, these are live markets. These are like real values, real prices. There are things going on around the world, based off these things. So we can't just expect it to be. You don't want to just blindly jump into stuff. And also, why you should have a strategy that doesn't just work on one pair. Because I know some people that just trade one pair, and when that one pair doesn't have a good setup, they're not trading for the day or the week. Or like I said before, there's some people that haven't traded this month at all, and that's not necessary. You can trade every day. You just need to have a strategy that works on every pair, and the strategy works on any pair. If it has candlesticks, the strategy can work. Obviously, there's some stuff you have to like tweak and adjust, but for the most part, if there's candlesticks, the strategy will work. What am I looking for? This one I'm looking for. Yeah, so no surprise doing a retracement, but we're going to see if it can break these levels going into New York. Like I said, if you're not confident that the other TPs are going to get hit, or you're not comfortable with losing the profit on your screen, you do not have to hold to every TP, because not every TP is going to get hit. Like this only hit TP5 on a Tuesday, didn't retrace back down, right? Then another example, just look through, just go through the telegram. A lot of times all TPs get hit, but not all the time. So if you don't understand how to read the candlesticks, I do have a video literally titled "How to Read Candlesticks." It's like 8 minutes long, straight to the point, and I explain a lot of stuff that you need to know, especially if you're going to be trading. If you're going to be trading, you need to know how to read candlesticks. You should not be on the charts trading if you don't know how to read candlesticks. Indicators can only do so much for you. You need to know what you're looking at. You need to know what you're looking at all times. And look, CHF-JPY is now getting its act together and moving like the other JPY pairs. So it is a good thing we held off on that, right? Again, that just comes with experience and making that mistake before. Okay, because I've been trading for a long time. I made a lot of mistakes, throwing a lot of money away, done a lot of dumb stuff. And when you do that, you do one or two things. You either just repeat the cycle and then get mad and be like, oh my God, this keeps happening to me as you continue to do the same mistakes. Or you are smart and you're like, dang, I keep doing this. Or when I do this, this happens. And then you adjust. You have to adjust. Trading is about adjusting, adapting, calculated risk, and high probability setups. That's what trading is all about. It's not about trying to jump into a bunch of things. It's not about, oh, if I put this lot size in, then I can make X amount. No, because if stop loss gets hit or you're in drawdown, you can lose that same amount. The same amount you can make using that lot size, you can lose the same amount. So there's a lot of things that come to it, but like once you have the formula down, it becomes very simple. Then it's just patiently waiting, letting charts do its thing, and then securing profit or closing trades. That's all it comes down to. So we see price about to retest this level here, which is not a surprise because, again, it has been struggling to break that level and it hasn't been this low in a long time. So we're going to see how it reacts off that retest, and then we can go from there. We see USD CHF attempting to try to follow the other CHF pairs a little bit. So I'm going to go through these charts one more time, make sure I'm not missing anything. But I might just let these do their thing. I'm going to still be on the charts, of course, because I'll be on the charts amount of hours before I jump off of them. GC is tempting because it has been staying on top of this level and it's been closing above this level, and we see 2 rejection wicks. So this is tempting as well. This is very tempting as well. This is more going to be like a scalp setup because we do have some huge levels of traffic could reject when it hits it. but it is definitely trying to break that level. And it's on this strong wall of price right here, and it's been respecting it for the past almost hour. So I might write this up because this is a high probability setup. So I might write that up as well. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so we need the Zealand pairs are doing retest, which is fine. NJ's right there. Let me see where the other JPY pairs are. GJ's still pumping, but that's not a good entry, so we're going to leave that alone. That's not a good entry either. Let's see what this is at. Yeah, none of these are at good entries. CHF JPY maybe, but we're just going to leave that alone for now. USD CHF is trying though. So I'm going to keep an eye on UC. I'm going to keep an eye on GA. I do kind of like how that's looking. Yeah, new 5 minute. That thing's trying to push up. So I might write this down. 7700. It's going to be about 100 pip stop loss. I could make it tighter, but I just want to be on the safe side. But I think it's trying to push up as we speak. Yeah, huge rejection wick and it's pushing up. Yeah, we could see price. It's at this wall right here, though. Nice rejection wick on the daily as well. The price is pumping as we speak. Yeah, I kind of like this right here. Kind of like this right here. Kind of like this right here. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I might wait either the next 5 or 15 minute candlestick to jump in on that, because again, price has gone this high before, then rejected harshly. But this is a good sign that is showing that it wants to break that though. So don't be surprised if I post that. Let me see. USD CHF trying to push back up. So I might post that as well. Let's see what NJ is up to. Yeah, so looking good so far. Good start to the morning. And again, man, we do this. Let me not say every day, because there are some days we haven't entered any trades. But every morning, man, it's just showing you there's really opportunities everywhere. And depending on your lot size, depending on what your lot size, your daily goal, how much you're risking, the amount of pips we caught in an hour today or yesterday when we caught like 400 pips on gold live yesterday, like depending on, lots of you make a good amount of money in an hour and then be done for the day. Now you let that ride out or enter more trades, you can make, crazy amount of money. But these things are trying to drop. So I'm gonna keep an eye on these. And we're gonna see what the next 15-minute candlestick looks like, because they are tempting. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on them. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, I think it's trying to pump. So I might write down your AUD. I might write that down. We'll see though. I think these things are following suit, like the USD pairs. All right. So I'm gonna be watching the chart still. Might enter a couple more trades before New York, but the USD pairs, I'm just gonna watch those for now and see what they're trying to do. So make sure subscribe. Members, you already know I'm going to send in a couple hours, of course, to break down the trades we're in and then the price watch list going into New York. If y'all want to hit me up directly, y'all can message me on Instagram at playmaker_way, same spelling as the YouTube. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, mainly TikTok. Gonna be posting some more stuff on there as well. But I will see y'all tomorrow in the London session live stream. Yeah, but these things are looking like they're trying to drop. So depending on, we're going to see what the next 15 looks like, and then we might jump in on these. May or may not. May or may not. Yeah, so we're going to see. We're going to see. Yeah, there's the retest is rejecting. So yeah, so it's going to get interesting. We're going to see what the next 15 looks like.